Admiral Kress of the Dominion fleet surveyed the holographic display of the small blue-green planet designated Sol 3. His mandibles clicked with anticipation. 117 species had fallen before the might of the Dominion. This would be the 118th. Begin the standard protocol, he ordered. Throughout the galaxy, the pattern had been the same. The Dominion would arrive with their armada of 10,000 ships, broadcast their demands for complete surrender, and watch as planetary governments scrambled to comply. Resistance was mathematically futile. All advanced civilizations understood this. When the Dominion's message blanketed Earth's communication systems, the response was unexpected. "They're sending back a message," reported Officer Trall, her compound eyes blinking rapidly. "It appears to be laughter." Admiral Kress leaned forward. "Explain." "The humans have responded with a collection of images they call memes and a phrase. Come and take it." The Dominion had never encountered defiance. Their tactical superiority was absolute. Their psychology division had calculated that any sentient species with sufficient intelligence to develop spaceflight would also recognize the futility of resistance and choose survival through submission. "Perhaps they don't understand," Kress suggested. "Send the demonstration." As per standard protocol, the Dominion destroyed one of Earth's uninhabited moons. The display of power had broken the will of many civilizations. The humans responded by launching every missile in their arsenal, primitive nuclear warheads that the Dominion's shields easily deflected. "Analysis?" Kress demanded. Commander Vex, the fleet's xenopsychologist, seemed puzzled. "They must know their weapons are ineffective, yet they deploy them anyway." Fascinating. Over the next week, the Dominion expected Earth's governments to fracture, with some seeking terms of surrender while others continued futile resistance. Instead, the humans unified. Nations that had been enemies for centuries pooled resources. Scientists worked around the clock. Military leaders coordinated global defense strategies. "Curious," said Commander Vex. "They're acting against their own self-interest." When the Dominion launched their first ground invasion, a standard precursor to planetary occupation, they encountered resistance unlike anything in their conquest history. But humans didn't fight conventionally. They used guerrilla tactics, improvised explosives, and seemingly suicidal charges that somehow resulted in Dominion casualties. Admiral Kress received the casualty reports with disbelief. How can a pre-spacefaring civilization inflict losses on Dominion forces? "They adapt quickly," Vex observed, "and they don't calculate odds the way other species do. When the probability of victory is low, most species surrender. Humans fight harder." The invasion stalled. For every human city the Dominion captured, 2 more became hotbeds of resistance. Earth's nations deployed everything from electromagnetic pulse weapons to biological agents specifically engineered to target Dominion physiology. 3 months into what should have been a 1-week campaign, Admiral Kress faced an unprecedented situation, a strategic stalemate. "They've reverse-engineered some of our technology," reported Officer Trell. "They're now using modified versions of our shield generators." Commander Vex had spent months studying human behavior. They're not just fighting for survival, they're enjoying it. They celebrate their small victories with disproportionate enthusiasm. They convert their dead into symbols that inspire further resistance. On day 112 of the Earth campaign, a small human craft somehow penetrated the Dominion flagship's defenses. It wasn't a military vessel, but a converted mining ship. Before the Dominion gunners could destroy it, the humans aboard transmitted a message. "We will never surrender, but we're willing to talk." Admiral Kress, against all Dominion protocols, agreed to meet with the human representatives. The human delegation was led by a man named Tom, a diplomat who spoke with unexpected calm. "Your empire has conquered 117 worlds because those species calculated that surrender was preferable to extinction. We've run the same calculations and reached a different conclusion." "Explain," demanded Kress. "For humans, freedom isn't negotiable. We prefer death to subjugation. It's not rational by your standards, but it's who we are." Tom smiled. "But we're also practical. We propose a relationship that isn't based on conquest." For the first time in Dominion history, Admiral Kress considered an alternative to complete submission. The ongoing conflict had cost more resources than the conquest of 10 other worlds combined. "What do you propose?" Cress asked. "Alliance instead of subjugation, trade instead of tribute. We have qualities your empire could benefit from." Commander Vex whispered to Cress, "They're not wrong. Their adaptability and determination would make them valuable allies rather than reluctant subjects." 1 year after the arrival of the Dominion fleet, something unprecedented occurred. A ceremony on neutral ground, an orbital station constructed for the purpose, where Admiral Cress and Earth's united leadership signed not a surrender document, but a treaty of alliance. As Cress affixed his mark to the treaty, Tom offered a handshake. "You should know," Tom said quietly, "if you had continued fighting, we had plans to take the war to your homeworld." Cress's mandibles clicked in what the humans now recognized as amusement. "With what fleet?" Tom smiled. "We would have used yours." Looking at the determination in the human's eyes, Cress believed him. Word spread throughout the galaxy. The unconquerable Dominion had met its match not in superior technology or numbers, but in the inexplicable, irrational, magnificent stubbornness of humanity. And in the centuries that followed, other conquered species began to whisper among themselves, inspired by the story of the small blue planet that refused to bow.